Hello and welcome to the Understanding Narcissists YouTube channel. This video is going to be about one of the long-running beliefs that narcissists cultivate in you. Yet another thing that will keep you hanging on, will keep you believing that there is something there you're invested in and that is worth fighting for, in supporting the narcissist illusion. And particularly it's cultivated later on in the relationship when you start suspecting them of wrongdoing. When you start to suspect that things are not well in their mind, in their life, and it is not all that it is made to be. This illusion is pretty general because it's kind of a mutual false belief where you're made to believe it and they believe it as well through kind of their virtue of wishful thinking or even magical thinking, something that they can kind of accept through their denial and is propped up because they're in such deep denial. And it's that however bad things are, they can get better. They can improve. This is just a rough patch or whatever. You're always working through something. Now, the first thought that pops into my mind is that a lot of abusive people do this. And I don't know if they're deluded into thinking that it's going to work out without acknowledging their bad behavior, without realizing there's something wrong with them. And not just acknowledging it, but resolving to fix it and work on it and do something and act and take steps. This, the series of efforts that lead to change and improvement, hopefully. And in particular, to get back to the narcissist, the idea that they want things to get better, which is patently false. Somewhere they know they don't want things to get better. They need that chaos. They feed off of, they live off of, they exploit it. They keep you in that. That's how they control you. That's the background, the backdrop that keeps everything kind of the swirling maelstrom that keeps you off, unsteady on your feet, unstable, unable to look at them, keep you distracted from what they're doing, unwilling or unable to focus on who's doing it by keeping you wrapped up in that illusion, in that denial as well. The last part about things getting better, the main crux of the situation, the main idea, the main point, is the illusion that on the one hand, the narcissist thinks if they can just get things back to some sort of comfort for them, which is going to be chaos and discomfort for you, hey, you can take the brunt of it, things will work out, it'll be okay, you can continue to be their parent, etc. Of course, that's not going to happen because they don't take into account that you are not them, that you are somebody who changes and grows and learns and can accept these problems and for what they are and recognize that the narcissist is causing them and move forward. They can't do that. And the biggest benefit of having a sharp hindsight and being able to learn from what's going on and recognize the recurring patterns, the dysfunctional behavior, is that you start to form a picture of the future, whether you want to or not. And the picture of the future is unsavory, to say the least. It is not a bright, happy picture. And that's kind of the takeaway point of this video, which is no matter what the narcissist puts in your head and what you'd like to believe, what is favorable and idyllic and really has a lot of sugar coating it, is that wherever you're going with them will be good, when in fact it will be bad. It can only end badly because this is a very unsustainable and taxing relationship. An exchange with another person, the narcissist. And what will inevitably happen is that since you are bearing the full brunt of the load bearing all the entire burden of all their problems, it will eventually break down. And if you are lucky, you will be wise enough, most likely you will be able to recognize what is going on to some extent, and you begin to learn and change and grow. And you will no longer be a viable person to carry all of their problems and support them. The result is then that it will end badly for them. And then naturally, it must end badly for you. Now, it doesn't have to end badly for you. In fact, it can end very well for you because you no longer have them in your life. That whole process of getting wrapped up in a narcissist, realizing something is wrong and trying to get away, it's a painful process no matter how you look at it. There's a great deal to be learned for you. But don't buy into the narcissist's illusion that it can end well. We can figure something out. You can't. You can't. They are fundamentally broken. There's nothing you can do as our information currently stands, what we know about narcissism, there's nothing you can do to help them. And if there is something you can do to help them, I can guarantee they're not going to like it. They are the antithesis of healing and personal growth and improvement. They don't want to do that. They don't understand that. That's the whole crux of the problem. They can't accept it. They can't accept their problems. They can't process their emotions. They're trying to pull you into it. And you simply have to accept that no matter what. When you're wrapped up with a narcissist, it's going to end badly for them and it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful for you too, but you get a very valuable experience and insight into human nature from it. They will not. And they will try to pull you back into it. In particular, you're going to be carrying a lot of baggage out of it from the get-go. But that doesn't always have to be the case. You're conditioned into believing that is what has to be done. That's what you're supposed to do, but that's all of their problems. The real thing you're going to have to do is try to outmaneuver and avoid a lot of the fallout that happens, which is, in particular, the turning of your friends and family against you, which is probably their greatest skill. They try to, if you're a family, they try to take the children. They threaten you with money problems, money issues. They'll take full advantage of that and get into the heads of your loved ones and turn them against you very subtly, or not so subtly as it turns out. That's what you have to grapple with. And even all of that doesn't compare to the personal growth you're going to have to experience, depending on how predisposed and damaged you were entering a relationship with a narcissist. That's going to be the biggest challenge, but you can overcome it. That weakness it does kind of become a strength and a powerful insight, as I said. But those things, just to recap, that idea that when you're with them, that things will improve, that's always an illusion. That something is, we're just working along, this is a rough patch, this is a problematic time, and it's your fault, but we'll figure it out. Kind of this mutual getting together. That is entirely false. And it will be used to great effect for as long as they can until it stops working on you, because you get wiser, you learn, you pick up on what's going on. And that's not something they really foresee because they're unable to see the problems with themselves. They don't recognize that it's unsustainable and it's destructive. And no matter how clever they are, at some point, they run out of, the bag of tricks runs empty. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable. People will get wise to them. And that's why they have to move on to new people. But that illusion that things are going to improve, and then somehow, hey, it doesn't have to end badly. It will always end badly. Because once you're away from them, there has to be fallout. There has to be an explosion. There has to be an outlet, an explanation. In particular, that you're a bad person and you robbed them of all these things and they're a victim. And by the way, my advice would be to let them have that, because if they don't have it, who knows what they'll do. I do try to give them, my advice would be to give them something, because if they don't have something, that's when they break. And when they break is when they do dangerous things, destructive things, and harmful things. And I mean physically. So it has its own thorny issues when you're away from them and they're unstable, and what to do about it, and its own considerations. But I think that's significant in the scheme of things, but it is a separate issue on its own. So I hope you like this video. I hope it was beneficial and insightful, informative for you. Like it. If you do, share it with somebody you think might like it as well. Comment in the comment section below. I love seeing your comments. I love reading your comments. And I try to reply to as many of them as I can, but I've kind of fallen short on that lately. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.